On the other hand, what kind of struck me was that being an artist allows you to have a freedom in designing your things that you don't have when you're working for money. Because what you showed tonight were many things that were like products. What these artists are basically product designers, but they are much more free in what they create because they are not restricted by what is practically doable today. So I think this also counts to the point that, of course, it's okay to lie.
Absolutely, and this was what I was saying in the beginning, the idea that how I feel about the media artist role in providing a vision and kind of sort of a scaffolding that shows the way without solving all the problems yet. That it would be kind of way of seeing the world rather than the manual how to get there.
Since you were asking for an answer
I was waiting
to your question.
Hello. Hey.
So,
please.
okay. So I think.
Oh, just before I'll try to be as short as possible. Thanks. Yeah, I think I will add quite similar thing like you with your great French mentioned, is that it's great to see the aesthetization of the really important and political issues. It's quite great to see the how people deal with that at the symbolical level. But I would just like to add that that the great opportunity is in playing with the identity of artists, where if you just pick it up, if you articulate something as an art piece, has much more freedom for you, and there is some big protection where you can fight for quite serious political issues. And I think that hackers in that sense are very sensitive about that, and they are in the fight for quite serious political issues. And what I propose in that sense is to go through that as an artist, not just saying I'm an artist. There is really big a need to actually to have hackers then with historians of art or whatever, whoever is good in theory, to make it more than just banal reference. But I think that that's the way how some really serious issues could be addressed. Thanks.
Right. To stand behind what you're saying, I guess.
And I just wanted to say, if you build it, and after you've built it, you still have to explain it, then you shouldn't have built it in the first place, but left it with the explanation. And unfortunately, I think my observation is that for most of media art, as far as I've seen it so far, these explanations are, if not necessary, at least they are provided. So,
yes.
And so therefore, I think most of media art should have just be left conceptual.
Yes,
that's a view.
Yeah. I guess I could refer to. I mean, this was a impromptu experiment that, last time in Heidelberg in the talk, somebody was asking a little bit of the similar thing about the definition of media art or something related, and then I coined a quick test to look at the feasibility or the utility of something like that, and it was to say that you take the inputs out, replace them with random, and then if it still feels the same, then you might be off the mark.
Hello. Yeah. So, say something on that. Also, just the one thing you showed that didn't really ring true in that respect was the woman with the Muslim style thing. In that, like, I can understand the context. I know what airport security is like. I know what the current situation is in the world. Yet I didn't understand it looking at it, and I didn't even understand it until kind of you explained. You know, it's a contradiction between wanting, you know, attracting attention and rejecting it. It wasn't immediately obvious. I mean, I think that kind of fails in that way. But yet, if I didn't know anything about the Muslim world or anything, some explanation would be useful in that respect. But in terms of your question, whether it's okay to kind of deceive the audience, maybe, I think the answer is it depends, and it depends how you're deceiving the audience. You know, at a certain point, you're not writing science fiction, and I don't think that'd be your intent. A lot of science fiction says, well, what if reality was the same, but this one little thing was different? How would that change our world? But that doesn't seem like what you're doing. It's saying, like, this is reality. This is what could be in 5 years, in 10 years. But if you start making up technology, or if you're not sure that the technology can actually do what you're pretending it can do, then you're really doing a disservice to your audience.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Could I take it?
I'm not sure if you answer this or not. I'd just like to make a brief comment. Is this like audible? Okay, sorry. It's a very, very brief comment. So what I think is very cool, like in this whole media art thing, is that you like take out the art out of the galleries and into the public spaces. Like for example, with this Berlin thing, with this U-Bahn, and like I'm often at the Alexanderplatz here in the U-Bahn station, like the U2, and there's always this art in public space, and I think that's really cool because of like everybody can experience it, and you have a few spare minutes and can experience the art, and yeah. That's just a brief comment.
I think it's one of the strengths of new media art, at least of some piece. If you take children to a museum, they will just look at paintings, they might like it. But I'm always amazed, like when I go to some media art festivals and I see people coming with their children, and children, some of the thing they don't like, but very often I see them having fun and wanting to interact. I have the feeling that because of that interaction part, new media art is a strength that traditional art doesn't have. That like people have the feeling that they can touch it and contribute. And they feel more involved. Well,
that's very cool.
Okay, I guess we're kind of out of time, are we?
No, not really.
No?
But yes.
One more.
Okay.
One more comment.
We have to give 5 times.
I'd like to thank you and say, from my point of view, this hacker perspective is somewhat sharing tools. And the nice thing about the tool is to use the tool. As long as you're just sharing your ideas, from my perspective, it's nice if you get the idea communicated and people get the point. If it's actually usable, that's not the point, because it's not a tool. You're communicating, and that's the important part of it. Communicating the existence of a tool without having access is causing envy and not joy.
Sorry.
As long as I'm not wanting to obtain your artwork, I like to hear about it, and it's okay. If I hear about a tool, I like to obtain it, I like to use it.
Okay.
What I think is special about new media art is that it's a form of art that is critical with the stuff it works with, and at the same time, the stuff it works with, the materials, are the same as the materials hackers have. So that's the basic link about it. And then a new media art has the strength to communicate the problems and the criticism with technology in a way that hackers mostly don't have. I think that's a connection, or that's a strength where media art can enhance the political views and the issues hackers have with certain technological aspects, or that gives us or gives the community other possibilities. I think that could actually be enhanced some more as well. So yeah, well, work together.
Thanks very much.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you very much.